Good morning, students. Our topic for today is atom and its structure. Atom. Atom is the smallest unit of any substance. Atom consists of three particles: neutron, which has no charge; proton, which have positive charge; and electron, that is having a negative charge. With the help of this diagram, we'll understand what is an atom. So in the center, it is a nucleus which consists of two particles, that is proton and neutron, and it has an outer orbit in which the electrons revolve around. Once again, so atom, it has a nucleus in the center which consists of two particles, that is the proton and the neutron, and on the outside it is having a orbit that is for the electrons. Let's see with some examples. So the first example we have is helium. So the chemical symbol of helium is He. The atomic number is 2 and the electronic configuration is 2. So the diagram of the atom says in the nucleus 2 proton, 2 neutron and 2 electrons on the orbit. So here we have 2 neutron with no charge, 2 proton with positive charge and 2 electron with negative charge. Here one thing I would like to tell you about the stability of electron. Let us see with one more example, that is oxygen. So oxygen, the symbol is O and the atomic number is 8. So the electronic configuration becomes 2, that is the compulsory 2 electrons on the first shell, that is 2, and the remaining, that is 8 minus 2, that is 6 is left over. Let's see. In the nucleus we have 8 protons, 8 neutrons. In the first shell we have 2 electrons, and in the outermost shell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is an unstable atom. So how many does it needs to become stable? We need 2 more electrons to become stable. Here comes hydrogen. Hydrogen has 2 protons and 2 neutrons in the center, and in the outermost shell it is having only one electron, which becomes unstable because in the first condition it says in the first shell it needs to be 2 electrons. So one it shares with oxygen. Then we have another hydrogen which has one neutron and one proton in the nucleus and one electron in the first orbit. So it shares one electron with oxygen and makes a bond. This bond, what it does, it helps both the atoms to become stable. So now we see that it is having 2 electrons to become stable, so that becomes 2, 6 plus 2, that becomes 8. So now the oxygen is stable, and here which shares one electron from this oxygen and becomes stable. Now we'll see an example of compound NaCl. What is NaCl? NaCl is basically salt, the common salt that we eat. NaCl, Na stands for sodium, that is the symbol of sodium Na, and chlorine Cl. So these two elements make a compound that is known as sodium chloride or NaCl. So Na has an atomic number 11 and chlorine Cl that has the atomic number 17. So the electronic configuration becomes 2 8 1, and here it becomes 2 8 7. The electronic configuration becomes 2 8 7. So here, to become stable, it needs 8 electrons, but as we said in the rules that it is easier to lose 1 electron than gaining 7 electrons, and here it needs 1 electrons to become stable. So what if the sodium gives 1 electron to chlorine? So it becomes 2 and 8, and here it becomes 2 8 and 8, since the sodium takes since the chlorine takes 1 electron from the sodium. So these two becomes now a stable electron and make a compound that is known as sodium chloride. Let us see this with the example of a diagram, a atomic diagram. So we have sodium chloride, that is made by sodium and chlorine, that is Na and Cl. So this is sodium. Electron protons, electron neutrons, and electrons on the orbits. And on the other side we have chlorine, which has 17 proton, 17 neutron, and 17 electrons. So in the outermost shell we have 7 electrons, and in the outermost shell we have 1 electron. So what does sodium do? Sodium gives 1 electron to chlorine and becomes stable by 2 and 8, and here chlorine becomes stable by 2 8 and 8. These two combine and makes one common compound, that is sodium chloride.